If you aren't already leveraging TikTok for your business, then you need to listen to this video because you're missing out on a major opportunity. I know it's probably because you think your audience isn't on TikTok or that you have to dance and sing in order to be on the platform. Well, I can confidently tell you that you are 100% dead wrong. In this video, I am going to show you how you can leverage the power of TikTok to grow your business. Now let's grow. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Liquid Digital Marketing Podcast. In this episode, we are talking about leveraging the power of TikTok to grow your business. In this episode, we are going to talk about what types of content you should be posting on TikTok, what types of content you should be creating, how often to post, and then some tips on how to get better performance when you're on the platform. Before we jump into that, let's talk about some TikTok stats real quick. Okay, so TikTok has gotten more traffic than Google in 2021. So think about that for a second. TikTok received more traffic than Google in 2021. So all of that time, all of that money you're spending on SEO and all of this stuff to get on Google, well, guess what? There's a platform out there that is getting more traffic. I think this might be one of the first times in history that a social platform has exceeded traffic in Google. Now, I can't back that up, but I'm pretty sure I have never heard that before. So that's pretty amazing. TikTok is the #1 mobile app in terms of downloads. There is now 1 billion, that's right, billion active users on TikTok. The average user spends 52 minutes on TikTok a day. More than 1 million videos are viewed daily. TikTok engagement is 10% higher than any other platform. And that's an average, like it's on 10% higher than any other platform. Then that's amazing. That's amazing to me. Another great stat is TikToks, and I don't know if this is really a stat, it's more of a fact, but TikToks are now indexed by Google. So now there's even another reason why you should be getting on TikTok. Let's get down to it. The majority of people that are not on TikTok that have businesses it's probably because of the myth, right? Like TikTok is a dancing app, a singing app. I don't want to have to sing and dance and do all these quirky little things. It's just not me, and I don't know how my business fits into that. Well, I would encourage you to install the app and give it a chance because you couldn't be further from the truth. Maybe when TikTok first started, that's what it was. But now it is 100% not that. When I go on a TikTok, there are more people that aren't dancing and singing than that are. And there are people out there in all industries and all niches giving value and creating communities. And I'm going to share my personal experience that I've had on TikTok with you at the end. So stay tuned for that. But what type of content really works on TikTok, right? So TikTok is known for having trends, right? So there always is like trends that are coming in and out, and it's usually involving some song, and it does sometimes involve like some, dance, or not really even a dance, but some type of a quirky thing, and that may not fit you, and that's cool. I never do trends, and maybe I should experiment a little bit with them, but I don't use it like that. I use it like a lot of other people use it, and that's for educational. There are 3 types of content that really do well on TikTok, and that is entertaining, educational, and inspirational. If you can get those in that realm of those 3 things, and I guarantee if you think about your business, do you have educational content you can share? Of course you do. I guarantee you do. You just aren't thinking about it right. Do you have some inspirational content? Sure. Client stories, client testimonials, how you've helped people, how things have changed your life, how you've changed things in your industry, how your industry has changed the lives of others. I mean, there's a bazillion things that you could come up with when it comes to inspirational content. And then entertaining content. So entertaining might fall into, maybe your personality, and if you have like kind of a funny demeanor, or you can do some funny things on camera and are comfortable doing that, then that makes your content, your educational and inspirational content, maybe entertaining at the same time. But you don't always have to be funny to be entertaining. It just has to drive an emotion. So if you can turn your educational content into entertaining content, then that's a really big win. And everybody has educational content, and it just works so well for businesses because it's just a natural flow of conversions, right? So like if someone's looking for your services, or someone wants to know more about the industry or your products, well, educational content always seems to lead to conversions. So it works really well. Okay. So what types of content should you create? Okay, so first, we kind of covered this a little bit, but mix the three: entertaining, educational, inspirational. Mix them by being educational first. That's the easiest barrier to entry. It's easy to come up with educational content. And then the other thing when you're creating content is to stay in your topic or your niche. And the reason is with TikTok is what happens is when you start creating content, excuse me, when you start creating content, people start following you because of the niche, or because of that topic that you are in, right? So let's say you're posting about, let's say you're a life coach and you're posting about, life coach things, like how to, have a better morning, or, how to handle certain situations or whatever. And then, the next 5 videos you post about crypto and NFTs or something that's like way tangent than life coaching. So these followers are like, whoa, hey, I followed you because I wanted to see these life coaching tips, and I would follow someone else for NFTs, right? So pick a topic and stay in a niche. So maybe you have different niches. So maybe you are a life coach, and maybe you also are into cryptos and NFTs. Well, then have 2 different channels, or have 2 different accounts, one for NFTs and one for life coaching, right? So like separate them out. You want to have your account really stick to one niche. So what I do is our marketing. So we do, paid advertising. We talk about web design and web strategy and marketing strategies and social media strategies. So, we're in the marketing world. Even some people even niche down even further, where they only talk about Facebook ads, or they only talk about, landing pages on websites. I mean, and that's even better, but we're a little bit more broad than that ourselves. The point is pick or stay in your topic. I think it should be, I know it should be 80% your topic niche content, and then 20% your, maybe some personal or lifestyle, or things that are going to attract people to you by just being real and yourself and letting your personality show through, because people want to follow people, not robots or not anything else, right? So 80% of your content needs to be in your vertical of content that you create. Okay, so the other tip when creating content is to be real and authentic. So TikTok is not Instagram. Instagram is only very aesthetic and, well, at least it is now. I feel that's going to be changing, but it's very aesthetic and it's very curated, and that's not how TikTok is. TikTok is raw. TikTok is authentic. If you can get on there and just be yourself and not have to have this high production value, or, this, certain way about you, like you would on Instagram. Like you wouldn't post certain things on Instagram because of the nature of the platform. Everything has to be great on Instagram, where TikTok, not so much at all. Like people want to see real authenticity, and that's a big one. So as I said earlier, TikTok works off of trends as well. So there's a lot of content content that trends, right? So there might be a song and there's like a little like thing that you do with this song and with this text, and you relate it to your industry or something, right? So it's some type of a trend, and trends kind of die off, get big and then they die off, right? So it's important to watch for the trends, like keep an eye out on what the trends are, because some of them will make sense for you. And you only want to do a trend when it relates to your business, or you can make it relate to your business or your niche of content, and that you're comfortable doing. So if you're not comfortable doing something, then it's going to come through the camera and people are going to see your uncomfortableness and it's going to look cringy. So I see it all the time. People get on and do something that you can tell that it's like way outside their comfort zone, and it just doesn't work. I'm not saying don't try new things, but have a little like self reflection of like who you are and what works for you and what doesn't work for you, because you don't want to get on there and start doing things because you think you should. Get on there and do things because you know who you are and what you have to say, and people will listen. Guaranteed. When you get on TikTok, how often should you post? So a lot of people will tell you that you should be posting, 4 times a day. Well, that's probably a lot. Like, who has time for that? If you can, great. Obviously, the more you can post, the better. That's obvious. But what I see a lot of people doing when they first try TikTok is they put out a video one day, and then, nothing much happens. They put out another video maybe the next week, and they're like maybe once a week-ish, not consistent. You're never going to grow on TikTok that way. Never, ever, ever are you going to grow. You have to at least do, my recommendation would be do 1 video a day. I do Monday through Friday, 1 video a day, sometimes 2 videos a day. I typically don't post on the weekend just because I'm not doing that kind of stuff on the weekend. But I have a nice steady rate of growth, and I post 1 video a day, maybe sometimes 2. And really, if you just do that, then you will grow. I will say the other piece of this is being consistent, right? So if you post a bunch and then you just fall off and don't post for a while, and then you come back in and post a bunch and just fall off, it's going to be hard to build that community of followers, of people that engage with your content regularly. There's people that I follow on TikTok that I know, I haven't seen their videos in a while, and I know they're on a hiatus or they're on a break or they haven't been doing TikToks because I don't see their content. And I like seeing their content. So, and then they'll come back and be like, hey, sorry, I was out for a while. Well, yeah, because it showed. I could tell you weren't posting. People that like your content and that follow you will notice when you aren't posting. So be consistent. That's a huge part of gaining a community. And we'll get into some of that community stuff at the end here. So here's some just general tips for success. And these are proven tips. These are tips that I have experienced. I have heard other TikTokers experience. I know these tips are legit. All right. So first off, when you get on TikTok, and really this pertains to any social media, but we're talking about TikTok. When you get on the platform, you need to have a goal. I don't care what the goal is. It needs to be a goal. You need to be able to, people need to do something, right? So if you're just going to get on there and you're just going to randomly post random videos, then that's great. Then you're just a hobbyist. But if you're a business getting on TikTok, you need to have a goal. And maybe that goal is to get people to go over to your Instagram. Maybe the goal is to get people to listen to your podcast. Maybe that goal is to click on the link in your bio and download your free thing or your paid course or whatever it is. That's your goal. And you need to have that call to action in your videos. So when you're making your videos at the end, tell people, here is my solution. You can find it in the link in the bio. So anyway, when you get on there, have a goal. Okay. The other thing is to don't overthink keywords, right? So you're not going to go viral or have a video blow up because you happen to land on the right keyword. That's not going to happen. I will say keywords are important. Think about keywords from an SEO standpoint. So Now that TikTok is indexing your TikToks on Google, what they look at a lot, I think, from what I can tell, that what they see is the hashtag that you're using. So let's say I'm making a video about web design, and I hashtag it web design, and it gets a ton of views. And now it's getting indexed on Google. Well, it's going to index it because of that hashtag. It says, oh, this is about web design. So from what I've seen so far, and of course this changes all of the time, but so far what we've seen is the hashtag really drives that indexing of your video. So don't overthink it, but just be logical. I typically would do 1 or 2 hashtags that are really close related to what the video is about, and then another couple hashtags on who it's for, right? So the industry or the audience. So let's talk equipment. When it comes to TikToks, you do want to make sure that you are paying attention to some things, right? So you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive equipment and setup and gear to get started. Absolutely not. Start with your phone. Your phone is plenty good, and for TikTok, that is great. But one thing you do want to try to look for is lighting. That's a big one, right? So if it's dark, if the lighting's not good, it's going to have an impact on the video, and you may not be getting the views that you should because it's just not good quality video. It's hard for people to see, and plus it's, if people are going on to it, it doesn't look good and it's hard to see, then, people aren't going to want to watch it, right? Okay. So the other thing is volume. There are a ton of videos I run across where I'm just like, they're talking and I can barely hear them. Well, you know what? Maybe there's subtitles that are making up for that, but at some point you need to make sure that your volume and that your sound is okay. And you can use the microphone on your camera or your phone, that's fine, but just make sure that when you're mixing it or that you're close enough to the phone where it's actually picking up your voice, because a lot of times if it's too low, it's not good. The other item is recording in-app or externally. So, and I guess this is more of a suggestion than it is a tip, but I record externally. So I've ponied up and got a nicer camera. It's like a Sony mirrorless camera. I record externally, and then I record the audio through this Rode microphone and into my laptop, right? And then it's plugged into the camera, whatever, right? So I have my own setup. It's external. And then what I do is I take the video and I take it into Adobe Premiere and I cut it up and do my thing, right? That works for me because I know how to do that, and I have a workflow, I do it, it's fine, that works. For some people, that's impossible. That's not something they're going to do, and that would be a fail. That would be something that would keep them away from doing any of this. So if you're not into editing videos and all of this stuff, or have someone that would do that for you, then skip all of that. And in fact, recording in-app might actually be more beneficial, especially in the beginning, because you're going to learn the ins and outs of the app, right? So how to make clips and how to add sound and how to, do different effects and do different trends and things. That's in-app, right? So you would have to use in-app. So there's some things that I want to do that I can't, it'd be hard to do externally. I would have to use the in-app features to really do the TikTok trends or things that I want to do in TikTok, because, I'm not going to recreate that externally. It's just right there in the platform. So if you're just getting started, I would recommend just starting with your phone and recording with that. And honestly, that's probably all you might ever need. So, okay. That's equipment. Really, just to rephrase, lighting and volume. Make sure that those two things are good. If you just need more information on lighting, I'm not a lighting expert. I just went to YouTube and YouTubed lighting, and you'll learn everything and more that you want to know. And next thing you know, you'll be on Amazon buying a bunch of stuff that you don't know how to use. But that's all right. You'll get better. So just start doing it. So the next item is what you should have in the first 3 seconds of your videos, and it's called the hook. This is really the difference maker in how your videos will perform. It's all about the hook. It's that 3 seconds. When people are scrolling through, it's that 3 seconds, it's that first sentence you say that gets them to listen to the rest. And really, that is the case with everything in marketing, whether you're talking about a landing page, you're talking about a blog post, you're talking about an ad, everything. It's the hook. Well, TikTok's no different. When they're listening to your videos, that first 3 seconds, what you should not do is start your videos like you would your Instagram lives. Like, hey, everybody, good morning. How is everyone doing out there? Nope, don't do that. You want to just get right to the point. Here are 3 ways you can blah, 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 right to the point. Next tip, cut your content. Cutting your content, basically what that is when I record my TikToks, I usually do it in sections, right? I don't just turn on the camera and then just start talking, right? I cut out the dead parts. I cut out the slow, the ands and the ums, a lot of probably what you hear on this podcast. I cut it out, right? So you want to make your videos to be, well, this is another tip, to be under 30 seconds. If you can make it, and you have to experiment with your content and your audience, but my content that performs the best is usually around 20 seconds. I have a hard time really trying to get what I'm trying to say out in 20 seconds and less, but 30 seconds and less, I can usually hit that. So you want to try to keep it to 30 seconds and less. But by cutting out these little dead areas helps you cut the content down, and it makes it faster, right? So it cuts from one thing to another thing to another thing. It keeps people's attention. All right, the next thing is the call to actions. I kind of talked about this a little bit, but at the end of your videos, have a call to action. You have a goal coming into this. Make sure you tell people what to do, what action to take, so you're achieving that goal. Okay, the next thing is the bio. You want to make sure you have a link in your bio. In order to have a link in your bio, you either need to have 1,000 followers or you need to have a business account. Now, I've had a business account for years and I just switched to the creator account. I'm going to suggest, and what a lot of other people suggest, at least right now, is to go with the creator account. They seem to grow faster, and it gives you the ability to jump on trends. If you're on a business account, and one of the big differences with a business account is the sounds that is available to you in the app. They really limit what sounds you can use. Not that they're bad, they're just not the trending sounds. So, it limits you. So, and there's been some people talking, and I've experienced it, that it seems like your business accounts grow slower than your creator accounts. However, if you are a business and you're coming on there as a business, you might need to use a create or a business account because of legal issues using sounds. So, anyway, make sure that your bio explains who you are, and have a link in your bio to that page of goodies or to that action you want people to take. So you can say, hey, check out my link in the bio. And your bio should explain to your audience what your content is, who it's for, and why they should listen, right? So when they see it, it should make them want to follow you. Like, oh yeah, I want to follow this person. So, and I have other podcasts. Actually, I have a whole podcast just on social bios, and I'll find that and put a link to it in the show notes, but you can go back and listen to that if you're looking to improve your social bios. Another tip is to batch create your pillar content. Okay, so what I mean by pillar content is your verticals. So like for us, we talk about web design, we talk about lead conversions, we talk about lead generation. We talk about marketing and just in general, email marketing. So we have kind of like some content verticals. I'm planning out my content and then ahead of time, and then I come in and I record, 10 to 20 videos at a time. If I had to do it every day, it would be hard. Things would come up, I would lose it, I wouldn't be able to be consistent. I'm a month ahead. So I have probably 60 videos sitting in the queue just ready for me to put together and throw out there. So that's me. I would recommend to you to do the same. Something that works for you. Batch create your content. Sit down in one setting and create a bulk of content. What's going to happen is you're going to post this content and then people are going to start interacting with it and then they're going to start asking questions. A great thing to have as filler content, so remember I said earlier, post once a day, twice if you can. That twice if you can video is great filler content. So if people ask questions, you can respond to them just using your phone, answering their question with a video, which creates more content for you. So I like to use one post a day or one video a day of my pillar content and then use the app's community interactivity post or videos to as filler content. Well, the next one is answer questions and Duet as filler content. So I just talked about that one. Duet is basically where you would go, like someone else is talking about something and you duet them, so you can like share your screen and you can you can have their video playing and you next to it maybe saying something or whatever, or maybe you're just not doing anything, but it's duetting. And then there's a couple other different ways that you can like repurpose other people's content for your own. That's legitimate. The other tip is to respond to comments. Always respond to comments. I don't know what else to say about that. You need to respond to your comments. That is going to really build community and followers of true people. Okay. The other one is don't delete videos. If you post a video and it doesn't take off and whatever, you don't want to delete it, because a lot of times what happens is it might not take off right away. It might just sit there for a little bit and then a month later, it takes off. So never delete your videos. We all have them. If I go back to my earlier videos, I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? But hey, whatever, keep them up there. That's how it works. And if you delete the videos, any likes or anything that you have on that video, it gets removed from your account. So, and that brings me to the lifespan of TikToks. So like tweets, they're quick, right? You tweet and it's out into the universe and it's live for a couple minutes, right? Instagram Reels, kind of the same thing, right? Like you're posting it and it goes and it doesn't have a long lifespan, at least not right now. I'm sure that changes and it changes all the time. But right now what I've seen, and I post Reels every day on multiple accounts, and what I find is I'll get a ton of views within, the first 3 hours, and then really not much after that. Rarely do I get many views after that initial block of views. But that will probably change. So let's talk about getting behind video, getting behind the camera. So this is what holds a lot of businesses back, is they just don't want to get behind the camera. They're not comfortable doing it. But guess what? I can't say nobody, but the majority of people are not comfortable behind the camera. I mean, I wasn't. I'm not. I'm still not. I'm getting better, I like to think. But yeah, getting behind the camera. If, let's say, maybe you have a business where you aren't going to get behind the camera. Maybe it's just not your thing or your role. But maybe you need to hire somebody on your team that would be your video creator. Because I guess what? In the next couple episodes, I'm coming out with some trends for 2022 and social media trends for 2022. And we're going to be talking about this topic of these short form vertical videos. As a business, you're not going to be able to escape it for much longer if you want to continue to be relevant on social media. So it's going to happen. It's just, when are you going to jump on board? Now or when it's already a Red Sea and too late? So it will happen. You will do it if you plan on staying on social media and being relevant. If you're not comfortable getting on camera, cool. Find somebody who can be or will be comfortable, and they're your spokesperson. They're your person that is out there on TikTok and creating these videos for you. If you don't have that person, then there are influencers. In fact, there are creators. Now it's really the birth of the new influencer is the creator. You can go find people. I get hit up all the time for companies in my industry that just want me to, do some videos for them and they have some kickback for me. So whatever, you can always find people out there that are already creating videos that have the audience, have them create videos for you. And in the contract, make sure that you can repurpose their video on your platform or on your account. So there you go. You can always hire people bring somebody onto your team, like hire somebody. Either way, you really need to really think about getting yourself or someone else on your team behind the camera and making these videos. All right, so to wrap this up, I want to share with you my experience on TikTok, and I'm going to keep this short. Look, I think we're already at like 32 minutes, so it's already getting long, but here we go. My experience on TikTok is been unlike any other social media platform. I was very hesitant at first, but what I found was a very, very engaged community and audience. And yeah, there's haters out there, but not like YouTube, not like Instagram. There are some haters, but it's way better. It's way better. Since I've been posting regularly, my account has grown almost to 10,000 followers, which for some other creators, maybe that's not that special, but for, us, that's actually pretty decent. And for most, that's pretty decent within, 9 months. So that's good. Unlike other platforms, right? So if I'm just comparing myself to myself, right? I'm looking at other platforms, I'm still trying to get, I'm still in the low thousands in Instagram, and I don't know how, if that will grow much, right? So I would say the leads are another piece that have really transformed. Most of the leads that we have gotten from social in the last year, in 2021, since we started using TikTok, almost all of the leads have been from TikTok. We get traffic from all the other sources, but a lot of the leads are from TikTok. It has really skyrocketed our list building and everything. And then the connections. I've made so many connections. People that we work with, now we're working with, we have new vendors and new contacts and new contractors and, freelancers and people that work in our industry. We have, just other people in our industry that we connect with and work with and meet with, like friends that I didn't have before that I have now, like real people that now we're off the platform and having relationships. And I've seen this not with myself, but with others. I've seen other people having and finding these relationships. And then the other thing is just traffic. Like our traffic has really exploded since we've been using TikTok. I think it's really an important thing as a business owner to look at. And anybody that is getting into looking at their marketing, you really need to consider TikTok. Stay tuned because in another few episodes, we're talking about social media trends for 2022. And we're talking a lot about that short form vertical video because it's super powerful and it's going to transform your business on social. All right, so there you have it. That is how you can leverage TikTok to grow your business. Don't forget to like and share this, subscribe if you find this valuable, and we'll see you in the next video.